What's up, y'all? It's Sports Kid here with my LSU 2023 season predictions. We're going to do an offseason review real fast before we get into the schedule. The Tigers' 2022 record was 10-4 with an SEC championship loss. Their season odds are 9-4 as the over/under for the win total. A lot of players return on this team, 8 on offense and 7 on defense. 6 players from last year's squad were drafted, and this year's recruiting class was ranked 5th in the country, and their transfer class was the 2nd best. Their top 2 players from this class were Zalance Hurd. He is from Monroe, Louisiana, a 5-star offensive tackle. 310 pounds as a freshman is pretty big. Then we have Deshaun Walkman, or Womack. I don't know how I messed that up. Deshaun Womack, maybe. He is from Baltimore, of all places, and is the best recruit coming out of Maryland. Also a 5-star, pretty impressive. Along with those 2 players, LSU brought in 16 4-stars and 7 3-stars. Transfer class was pretty decent, I guess. One 5-star transfer. It was Denver Harris from Texas A&M. I think he got kicked off the team at A&M. We had a lot of that. Along with Denver Harris, who actually won't even be a starter. Logan Diggs from Notre Dame transferred in. He will be the starting running back. And Omar transferring in from Oregon State, will be a starting linebacker. Denver Harris is the 5-star. There are 6 other 4-stars and 5 3-stars that also transferred in. Here we are with the schedule. This is an A schedule difficulty. They're playing an SEC West schedule along with a good out-of-conference team. And then Army, who's never bad. Then some not great pulls out of the East. Missouri and Florida. I think Florida's the every year rival, but Missouri, We start in week 1 on the road in Orlando, neutral site game against the Seminoles of Florida State, who I think will be probably in the ACC championship game as long as everything goes according to plan. I am going to put game 1 in the toss-up category. I think Florida State has an edge because the game's in Orlando, Florida. Last year was in New Orleans. I do like Florida State in this game, though. I think they have a very strong team. Not that LSU's team isn't strong, but I like Florida State's. I think they're better. Next, we have Grambling State, FCS. That should be a big win. That's all. Mississippi State is the next team on the schedule. Pretty early SEC game. A little surprised when I saw that. This should be a close-ish win. Probably within 14 points on the road. LSU should win that. Maybe not with ease, but they should. Miss State probably won't be very good. They definitely won't compete for an SEC West title. They could potentially be the worst team in the West. I think they're competing with probably Auburn for that spot right now, but they definitely could be the worst team in the West. Arkansas at home is the next game on the schedule, and that is going to be in the close win category. Arkansas they're going to be fine. I'm thinking 7-5, maybe 6-6. I could see Arkansas being actually a pretty close game. I feel like that game usually is, or it has been recently, at least competitive by both sides. I do think the Tigers are going to pull out a victory in that game, though, and get their 3rd win of the season, maybe 4th. They could be 4-0. I think 3rd win of the season. Next, we have Ole Miss on the road. That should be probably a tougher game, but the Tigers should win that one. Maybe not with ease. I'd like to see that one play out competitively. I think both squads are going to be pretty good. Yeah. Next up, we have Missouri. Missouri is going in the big win category. That was a very lucky draw out of the SEC East. Mizzou is not going to be good. They might not even go to a bowl game. On the road at Mizzou, I don't think even matters. LSU should whoop the other Tigers by a lot. Next, we have Auburn, and Auburn is going to go in that close win category. Hugh Freeze is a pretty good coach. All said and done, it will be his first year though, and I'd have to look at it, but I'd have to look at it again. But I don't think Auburn is going to get this win. I have to look at like the statistics and such again. But thinking about this game just right now, I don't think Auburn is going to win, and the LSU Tigers should win this game. Even though Auburn is coming off of a bye week. Next up, we have Army. Army running the option offense, I don't think are going to be able to get much done. The LSU defense is pretty decent. Yeah, LSU's defense is pretty decent. Bama is the next squad on the schedule. It is a road game for LSU. Bama is coming for blood after the loss last year, and the Crimson Tide are coming off of a bye week. I think Alabama should win this one pretty cleanly, pretty solid victory for the Crimson Tide. Probably 10 points, maybe 2 touchdowns, maybe even a blowout we see in that game. But I don't think LSU will win that one at all. 3 more games to go. We're going to have Florida State at Florida. My bad. University of Florida as the next game. Pretty solid schedule so far. Probably only 2 losses at this point in the season. And I think Florida could be a little bit of a tricky team to beat. They are, I want to say, bitter rivals, but I'm not a fan of either school, so I can't really say that. If you're a fan of Florida or LSU, let me know in the comments. Is this a bitter rivalry, or is it sort of forced because of every team has to play another team from the other side of the conference every year? Or is it like an actual rivalry? Let me know. I think Florida could potentially pull off an upset. It would be very difficult, but I see that as a tricky game. At home, in Baton Rouge, but I still think that could be a tricky game. It's usually a good one also. I'd probably tune into that. 2 more games left. We have Georgia State. Their Sun Belt, I don't think they're even going to have a chance in this game. Sorry, Georgia State. Inferior competition. LSU should dominate. Finally, we have Texas A&M. My school, I know. Leave all the dislikes you want. I'm an A&M fan. Honestly, I'm putting this in the toss-up category. I think the Aggies are going to be pretty strong this year. Fingers crossed. But it will be a home game for LSU, and I don't think the away team has won in this series since Jimbo was hired. LSU has a pretty good shot, as long as it's not a night game. As long as it isn't a night game, I think A&M has a pretty good shot. All that said, LSU should win against Grambling, Missouri, Army, and Georgia State pretty solidly. Then they should also win against Mississippi State, Arkansas, Ole Miss, and Auburn. Then I think they could win. That's 8. I think they could win at least one of these games. Maybe 2. I think they beat Florida. If they're gonna beat one of them, I think they beat Florida. I don't think they beat Florida State and A&M. I think it would be one or the other. We'll have to see how it goes. And then I think they definitely lose the game to Alabama for a final record of 9-3. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm not an LSU fan. I'm not insanely knowledgeable about the team. In fact, I quite hate LSU. Form your own opinions. Those ones were mine. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, peace.